Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Something a little different in this video. I got a little project I'm working on for the Aviation Museum that I volunteer at. It's the MAPS Air Museum in Canton, Ohio. One of our tugs, which we use to move aircraft around, it's been running a little rough lately, and I think it's time to get the carburetor rebuilt. So I went down to the museum, pulled the carburetor off the tug, which I've got a little footage of that I'll be popping in here momentarily. And now it's gonna be time to start the tear down of the carburetor. So I'm gonna go ahead, get the camera flipped around and show you what I'm working with. And before I get started on the carburetor, real quick, I want to show you why I'm very glad that I bought all of these mobile carts with worktops. You can see I have multiple projects going on in different places. Main workbench has some stuff for the Cobra on it, as well as just some general junk that I'm messing with. Got the carburetor project that I'm about to walk through here. Motorcycle engine project I've been working on there, spillover from that motorcycle engine on the cabinet over there. So definitely nice to have all of these moving carts with worktops that I can work off of. So anyway, getting back to this video, before I start doing anything with the Cobra, I'm going to kind of show you a little walkthrough of tearing everything off of the vehicle and the vehicle that's involved. Like I said, this is an airport tug used to move aircraft around, but the engine is a Chrysler 225 Slant Six. So anybody that's a fan of Chryslers probably knows what this engine is and a lot about it. So here's just a little footage of walking around the tug and what's under the hood and what I went through just to get the carburetor off. It's nothing crazy, and then I will get to work on the carburetor once that's done. So here I am at the MAPS Museum, and this is the tug in question. It's a tractor that is used for moving around the aircraft on the property. If you check the MAPS Air Museum website, you'll see the list of aircraft that we have. It's basically a tractor of sorts, and you can just see it's got some of the information, the gauges, stuff like that. And then here is the industrial Chrysler 225 Slant Six that powers this little beast and everything that I am going to be working on. So the next few clips are just going to be me walking through, taking apart and getting the carburetor out, just kind of for my reference and things like that, so I know exactly what I did. Got the air cleaner removed, so I'm just doing a little walk around, just showing where everything is hooked up on it, so I know where I need to reconnect everything. So this is it, just with the air cleaner off. Next few clips is going to be kind of a little bit here, a little bit there of taking certain things off and just step by step of how I remove different pieces and parts. You can see the fuel lines off here, a couple of vacuum lines removed, and then it's going to be all of the linkages removed and the carb removed. Pretty straightforward. So next we'll be back in the garage getting to work on disassembling. So here we are back in my garage, and this is the carburetor in question. Now, most of these carburetors on 225 Slant Sixes are going to have some sort of tag telling you what they are. This does not. It would normally be attached to one of these screws. This has no tag, so we were kind of making a guess at it. I obviously know it is a Carter, and just based on photos, things like that, I guessed that it was like a BBS carburetor, which is a pretty common single barrel Carter carburetor. I reached out to Mike's Carburetor Parts, kind of explained what I was looking at and sent a few pictures, and he kind of agreed. So this is the kit that I got to rebuild it, the K4055 rebuild kit for Carter BBS. Very inclusive kit. Oop, forgot that I'd already opened this. There's all kinds of little bearings and clips and things like that, along with all the seals, and all kinds of internal parts. And I will be walking through all of that as I start the rebuild process. But first thing I'm gonna have to do is start disassembling the old one. And in order to do that, I'm gonna need to start taking off the top cover, which is all of these flathead screws that go all the way around. So I'm gonna start messing around with that, getting this thing disassembled. I'll come back and walk you through everything I did. But yeah, you can see like the choke spring is all wonky. I'm gonna figure out how to fix that. The linkage isn't terrible, but yeah, definitely seen better days. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a flat blade so I can start taking those screws out, and I'll be right back. All right, 6 screws are out, and I kind of put them here in order. You've got the 2 short ones or the ends, and then you have the 4 longer ones are here and here, and then all 3 sections will come apart. But what you're gonna need to do is the lever for the accelerator pump, there's a little clip here, you're gonna need to pull that clip out, and then the rod can go be released from the throttle linkage. And then the choke lever, it feeds into this little cam right here. You can see where it's sticking out where my finger is there. If you pull the top over and kind of angle it like this, very carefully, you can get to the point where that eccentric will roll around, and then you just push it right through and that'll pop out. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove those two levers, and that'll allow me to remove the top from the middle section. Real quick here, you can see kind of what I was talking about, the rolling the top over and then getting this cam like right in a spot here. And then you just push the rod through, and then this is the rod, obviously. So I just need to remove the clip that's holding this rod on the bottom of the throttle linkage, and then I can have these all separated. Take that back, had a brain fart and forgot that this is just a hook here. So it'll just walk right off of that hook. So putting it back together, you just want to hook this on here first and then walk it over and do the choke. But now we have three separate pieces. We've got the top, the middle of the body, and then the base plate with the actual throttle valve. So all three pieces are disassembled. Before I start, taking anything apart, I just want to walk over, what comes in this kit. This is somewhat of a universal kit because there are multiple variants. So again, you're going to have, some different plugs, seals, clips, one ball, and that is important to remember because there are two in this carburetor, which I'm going to show you here shortly. Seals, like the main top to middle seal, you have three options. Use the one that fits yours best, so don't throw away your gasket. And then the gasket that goes between the middle and the lower, two options. And then these are for mounting the throttle blade to your intake manifold. Again, a couple different variants here of that. So you also have the needle assembly and the accelerator pump, whether it be a leather one or a rubber one. This one's a rubber one. It's got a little protector on it so it doesn't get damaged. Now, as I was saying, with the balls, there are two check balls in this assembly. There's one here at the bottom of the accelerator pump. You can kind of see it reflecting. And there's one in this hole here. You can't really see it. It's not going to focus in on it. So if you flip this thing upside down, you are going to have two balls that come out. Do not lose them. Like I said, there's one that I see in this bag. So I don't know if they just give you one in case you lose one of these, or maybe there were two and somehow or another I lost one. I don't know. But there are two in this carburetor body, so do not lose those. So be careful when you take those out. If you flip this upside down, they will fall out unless this thing is like super gummed up. But anyway, I'm gonna work through disassembling, the upper real quick, which is gonna be removing this screw here. This is just a flat blade as well. That'll allow me to take this arm out, and then I can take the accelerator plunger off of the top hat. All right, here's that screw out. And once you do that, you basically just fold this up and over and walk it out of the plunger. Push those parts off to the side, and then the plunger should come out just like so. I'm going to grab this top piece here, so you have this top cover for it, and then underneath you have this cup which holds into the spring, and then the plunger assembly itself. And now that should be everything off of the top that I'm going to take off. And then here's the gasket. Again, don't lose or damage your gasket. You want to look at the one you have and find the one that is going to be the best comparison, which looks like it is going to be this one right here. Looking through my camera, I will double check, but I think that is going to be my best option based on that square hole there versus the oval hole versus another oval hole but different material. I think this is my winner. And just confirmed it. Here is the old one stacked on top of the new one, and it's a dead ringer. Everything lines up perfectly, so I know which gasket I will be using. I'm going to move the other two out of the way and get rid of them so I don't mistakenly grab them. Real quick also, as I'm disassembling this, I put the accelerator pump back together in the order of things and then put it back on its little tab here, just so I'd remember exactly where things went. So you can kind of see how that cup sits up in that hole, and then there's the top plate that sits down on top of the hole when everything is mounted in place. So that's kind of back together, so I remember going forward. And then I also grabbed the lower gasket. This is the one that goes between the center and the throttle plate. So I'm gonna grab this and then figure out which one of these fits best. Like this one's got an extra hole there, which mine has. So I believe that's gonna be my match. And real quick, I'm gonna line them up. And it looks like that is definitely a winner, new and my old. So I think I found my gasket, so I'm gonna move the other one out of the way so I don't mistakenly install it. As far as the lower gasket goes, I'm just gonna take these with me when I go back to the museum to reinstall this. So I'll figure out what's already on there and then just install whatever is necessary. They look to be cut pretty much the same, it's just thickness. And I'm pretty sure the one that's on the truck now, or the tug now, is this thicker one. But again, I'll take them both with me and install whatever I need to install when I put it back on the tug's engine. All right, so working on the top hat, I went ahead, I fixed the choke spring. It now springs back like it's supposed to if you pull on it. Here, let me flip it sideways so there's nothing in the way. So that's right, so you can see the one part of the spring hooks right there on the lever, the other catches down there on the cable bracket, and that is how the spring works. So now when somebody pulls it, it pulls back. So all good there as far as the choke goes, and the lever bar just popped out, so I'm gonna pop that back in. It's pretty easy. There's like a little flat tang on there. You just line it up, put it back in, and it'll drop back into place. So anyway, next thing with the top is I need to just grab some carburetor cleaner and blow out some of the passages. There aren't too many things on here, but I'm still gonna clean it up and make it look as nice as possible. So a mental note, if you do take these two screws and this bracket out to fix your choke spring, make sure when you put that bracket on, this bar is down at this angle and not above, twisted above this, because that's why it fell out, as I had it in the wrong spot. You need it to be down on this side of that bracket. So just a little mental note there. I'm gonna go grab carb cleaner and clean up this top. And here is the top hat after doing some cleanup with carburetor cleaner and wiping it down with shop towel, stuff like that. Not perfect. It's still got some staining. I'm not doing any kind of course restoration here. This is a operational restoration and cleanup just to make this thing function. So pretty happy, cleaned up pretty good. So I'm good with the top hat. I'm gonna go put this off to the side. I'm gonna go do the same with the throttle plate, clean it up really good, because there's really nothing that needs to be disassembled on that. It's mostly just cleaning it up, and I'll probably switch out like clips and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm gonna grab that, get it cleaned up, be right back. And all set with the throttle plate. Again, doesn't look perfect, but it's a lot cleaner than it was. And again, make sure you're using the straw or whatever on the tube on your carb cleaner and blowing out all of those little holes and orifices. Make sure that there's nothing in those, and everything will flow through just fine. So all set there with the throttle plate. So I'm gonna put that off to the side as well. And now it is going to be concentrating on the main body, and this one is actually going to require a little disassembly. There's some needles and things like that. We're going to take the floats out, and we're going to remove the float needle, which is you're going to have to take out the fuel line, and then this is the actual needle assembly here. The new kit came with a replacement, so you want to make sure you do replace it. So I'm going to start with that. I'm going to get a flare tool to remove the fuel line, and then I can remove the actual needle assembly. All right, you can see the needle and seat, and as well the fuel line removed. That was a 1/2 inch, and this is a 9/16. Again, just screws into the side there, and the needle goes like this. The float pushes on it, and the neoprene rubber tip sits inside there accordingly. I'm sorry, there accordingly, just like so. And that's how that works. The float will push that in and out to seal that hole. So anyway, that's that removed. Next, let me grab a screwdriver and start pulling some parts out of here. All right, so first thing I removed is the step-up piston assembly, which is right here. You just take out that screw, which is going to be right here. Lift it all out. The needle will come out with the piston. There will be a spring sitting in there, and there's a little gasket, a little rubber gasket that you'll just fish out with like a small flat blade screwdriver that's at the bottom. I just use, like I said, a small flat blade, was able to fish it out no problem. There's a jet for it right there, but you can't take that out until you take out the floats. So I'm gonna remove the float spring right here, pull the floats out, and then I can remove that jet. Floats and spring removed. Again, you just squeeze the spring ever so slightly because it's just like a wedge fit, and it just keeps those from popping out of their little tabs down here. So yeah, just squeeze this ever so slightly, you pull the spring straight up, and then I just used, again, this little flat blade and put it in there to pop up a little bit on the bottom of this, and it gave me enough where I could grab this little tab and just lift the floats right out. So there's the floats and the spring. So now I'm gonna grab that flat blade again and remove that jet. All right, yeah, you can see I removed that jet. I also removed the jet that's here. So here's that. And then there's the jet that needle goes into. So all that's really left is, again, there's a ball in there and then the ball that you can see down there. So I'm gonna get those removed. I'm gonna put those off to the side. Be careful, do not lose them because those little balls tend to want to go wherever and everywhere. But anyway, I'm gonna get those removed real quick and then I'll be right back. All right, there you can see the two check balls removed. Again, one here, one there. The one on the right is the one that I removed from here. They do look to be exactly the same. So just, letting you know about that. And again, we've got the idle jet out, the main jet, and everything is removed from here that I'm going to be removing. So next is going to be to grab some carb cleaner, clean all the little passages and everything out on this, as well as start cleaning up the parts here that I'm reusing. The kit doesn't come with new jets or anything like that, so I am going to clean up these jets and needles, things on those lines, clean up the floats. I will be replacing those, so that's not a big deal. But yeah, this needle here, these jets, that gasket, there's a new gasket in the kit. So yeah, it's just going to be cleaning stuff up here and getting it prepped for reassembly. And I'll probably, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, start the next video up with doing that. So yeah, next video is going to be finalizing the cleanup on the main, because this video has gone on a while. So I'll do this final cleanup and start with the reassembly of this and the whole unit, and then get this back in the vehicle, and that way I can knock it out in 2 videos. So if you like what you're seeing, you want to follow along, please hit like, please hit subscribe, please hit the notification bell. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. I do review them. I will reply. I do have a second YouTube channel devoted to firearm content. If that's something that interests you, please check it out. There's a link in the description of this video. I also have a Rumble channel where I'm posting the same firearm content. If you're on Rumble, I'd appreciate if you head over to my page and like it. There's a link in the description. I have some items I'm selling in a Fourth Wall store, a lot of apparel and miscellaneous stuff. If that's something that interests you, please check it out. Link in the description below, and you probably see some of the items below this video tagged and being shown by YouTube. That being said, thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.